So my process of healing from divorce didn't just affect the relationship with my spouse, but also with everyone else that the two of us once knew. All of the people I spent time with in Japan, except for one, I haven't heard from in 5 years. But the relationship that was most dramatically affected by this process was a relationship that I have with you, the viewer. Now, there are many of you who are understanding. This was a majorly disruptive phase in a super weird transition. I went from plump cheeks and noodle binging with colorful clothes and a loud voice and big fangorilla energy to barely eating anything. So thin that I looked sick and leaving passive-aggressive messages in a namaste voice while doing long videos about love and nonviolence. I turned away from just about every part of me. I left Japan, which I really, to this day, I just miss it so much. I stopped making fun videos. And worst of all, I blamed a lot of you longtime viewers for having a parasocial relationship with me. And I told you that you were toxic. And that was so shitty. I isolated myself at this time. I cocooned myself in a way. I was setting hard boundaries and acting up like a rebellious teenager, saying fuck the system and fuck you to the people that actually cared for me, all while trying to find my own identity. It was a messy process, like a lot of growth is. And while a lot of the content I made before was comfort viewing, nothing about this process was comfortable. I was shitty to many people, and I know it. Those of you who stuck around, I think, seemed to me like people who had gone through a similar process. And you were both understanding and kind enough to be patient with me through this long phase. God, this sure fucking took a while, eh? I definitely think differently now about online relationships than I did before. Back then, I thought of you, the viewer, as expendable, as one viewer out of way too many to count. And I didn't think of you as someone who had your own needs and your own humanity. Conversations that I'm having with you now, here in these videos, in the comments and in the messages that you're sending me, have been connected with the empathy that I so sorely lacked back then. And I know that a lot of the damage I did is irreparable. And I've come to terms with that. Not all relationships can be saved. And at the same time, the values that I have now of open and honest communication, generosity of attention, deep listening, nonviolence, empathy, and holding space, that's not a language that a lot of people speak. It's not a skill set that many people have trained and developed. It's not something that people are naturally born with. And many people, like myself, grew up in environments where these skills just weren't displayed. And that's all right. I'm not looking for a huge number of people to follow me. I'm looking for just a few who share these values, who have gone through or who are going through this process, and with whom we could build a sense of community. And if that's you, thanks for watching.